You know how I feel. 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 feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Test one. And there, sweet. Okay, hey guys, how are you? We are here. There is Annabelle in the house, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with everything. Sorry, it took the, so we haven't started at 7:15 in a while. I just wanted to get everything like tweaked perfectly, since Ann and I are going to be kind of sort of team teaching tonight a little bit. Ann offered to teach the whole class about 5 minutes ago, and so we'll see. Like that's how much she's willing to teach. So if you have any like request, or definitely if you see anything that Ann is doing that, sweet. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what we're definitely going to do is I'm going to set up waist and shoulder breaks, and then talk about what in old school days used to be called first and second tree, and in the new as of 8 years ago, what we started calling AM and PM, just because for some people that was easier to understand. And let's see. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so if you have any breaks, I'm going to teach waist and shoulder, first and second tree, then Ann's going to jump in on pinches, and yeah, Ann is demonstrating pinches to you right now. There she is. All right, sweet. Okay. All right, and starting to show off already before we've even gotten going. Okay, so we'll go ahead and jump into it. So I have put the playlist together from two different spots. We're going to warm up on these Thursday night classes. The warm-ups are a little bit more direct and speedy and not quite as slow. Jennifer said, can you read these? Okay, so, yeah, all right, sweet.
I keep not facing the right camera.
Yeah, it's impossible. Okay, all right, so let's get going. Oh, the point that I was going to say was that I have put this playlist together on two different places, in YouTube and on SoundCloud. So one of you wrote to me, and I don't think you would mind if I told you who it was, but I'm just not going to because I didn't get it. And anyway, they kind of did a wink wink at me and my old podcast, The Future Hero, as if sort of or I don't know, maybe I just read it in the right way, but I sort of took it like I should do that again. And then it just so happens that SoundCloud, my podcasting host site, they're probably hurting, but they reduced their yearly subscription fee in half. So anyway, I did that thing, and so I bought it back, so now I can start podcasting again, and I think that it will probably be more in the form of like sways. But anyway, also I want to say something before I forget. I really thank you for all the donations. Please don't ever apologize for how small they are. I have gone through highs just in the last 3 years. I have gone through highs and lows with money. Well, 4 years. Let's say, because everybody went through weird shit during the pandemic. But and so I know what it's like. And some of you can give more than others. And the combination of everyone's generous giving is keeping this going. And we're not in any danger. We're definitely going to go at least another month or two. Well, 2 months at least. Like I can guarantee you that this will be going for 2 more months. And we'll just kind of keep things going. Everybody that gives, everybody that watches regularly donates, and I am in no way asking you to donate more. I am acknowledging that you donate. I am thanking you for your donation. If you've never donated and you want to, that would also really help. More or less, the donations make all this stuff, when I'm not as inspired to do it, it helps to have some motivation that way. Okay, so let's get going on the sway here. All right, I'm hoping that we're still live and everything's good. Oh, wait a second. I just realized something. There we go. And there we go. Okay, sorry guys, I had a little bit of a computer thing. There we go. Okay, good. Okay. As always, let me know if the mic is too loud, or the music's too loud, or too soft. I can sort of hear what y'all hear, but not exactly. Audible breath in. Open, open, open. Open, open, open. The My Dan did not think of breaking the hoop in any sort of violent way. But they always thought of the hoop's rotation as wind. Audible breath in. And all wind has a current. And when you're breaking the current. Audible breath in. You're breaking with the wind, like a bird that suddenly changes the pitch. Audible breath in. The practice of breaking the hoop can really help you connect to your non-dominant side, to what my Dan called your little sister tree. In our sway today, you can breathe into your little sister tree. You can breathe into your non-dominant side as you warm it up. Open. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. I really invite you to move your hands and to let them move about the space that you're in. For me, I carry all of my mental craziness in my shoulders. The pride, the humility, the embarrassment, the reward, all of it. And I invite you to allow your hands to move, not force them to, just allow them to move. We can all kind of let go of whatever tension has been created there. Audible breath in. Whoa, what is that one? Why does that not look good? Breakthrough City, really?
Breakthrough City for Anne.
All right, do you want to talk about it?
Well, you know, it's about that healing in my right. I think my right leg is basically getting better, and now it's kind of moved into a new. This whole kind of like getting broken down and healing, like moved into a new place. So I'm just feeling openness.
We're going to give Anne a mic when she teaches y'all. She's just feeling openness in her hips. So since Anne's feeling that openness, we'll stay with where we're going to stay right now, or where I thought we would go. But you can pick up your hoop if you're ready, and you can keep it on the ground if you're, of course. Okay, so we're going to make our way into breaks. So I'm going to turn that sounds especially loud. We're going to make our way into breaks through point technique first, just to get us warmed up. This is more what I had in mind. Okay. So I'm in point technique. And Ann, take your time. You don't even, I mean, like any regular class, every exercise is optional. But what I invite you to feel is I'm creating a point contact. The hoop is still traveling around my heart center. And so I'm not inviting you to move this way, but I am inviting you to feel that even at point technique, there can be a current. And of course, we can break that current. And so even at point technique, Ann is on the ground using the floor to open up. She can reverse whatever current is there. I am moving the hoop around me, hanging it in point technique. Most of you probably that are watching this grew up doing both directions. But it can be really intense for people that have never tried the other way, especially down the path. To really embrace changing currents, to not think of it as going from your strong to your weak, but just changing the vibe. Breaking with the wind. Really unsure, you can just break the momentum of you. I can hold the hoop in some sort of super, controlled way. And I get used to breaking me. Nice, Shelley. Okay, Ann, any thoughts?
Really feeling that too. I was doing a lot of spinning, the dynamic point.
Okay.
And the breaking was loving it, because it's like you can keep it in point or 2 point, but kind of, do some quick changes.
All right. Nice. I know you guys can't probably hear it, Ann, but just rest assured that when she teaches, we're going to pass the mic to her. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about breaks. Actually, this one might be a good one for us.
We're going to have a good time tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. All right, so breaks really, the ones that we're going to be working on the most tonight are core breaks. And so they are for core hooping. So we're going to go ahead and warm up our core. Oh, that's a little loud. Hopefully I'm not blasting you guys out. Oh. All right, here we go. We're on the waist. I am traveling, the hoop is traveling around me in a current, okay? Watch Ann for a second while I fix something. Okay, so sweet. All right, so I'm here on the waist. The first thing I want to know is that which way the current is traveling. If you're bad at your left and your right, just think one way or think the other way. And then I'm going to focus in on the direction that the hoop is traveling around me. The point of contact is going to tell me which arm is which. It's the rotation of the point of contact as it rolls around that will inform which hand is which. Because if you figure this out, if you reverse, then the hands would always be switching. I am going to the left. My hoop is moving counterclockwise across me. It is rolling from my right to my left. I am in left current. Left current is my first current. If I reverse the hoop, my hoop is traveling to the right clockwise. It's moving from the left to the right. And this is right current. If I turn with the current, meaning if I turn to the right when I'm in right current, or if I turn to the left when I'm in left current, I do what's called stalling. If I turn against, nice Ann, if I turn against the current, I am cutting. I'm cutting. I'm stalling if I turn with it. I'm cutting. Teaching your body these two sensations of turning with it and turning against it will give you a lot more confidence in your breaks. Okay. All right. Any thoughts?
Mine?
Yeah, before I move on.
Yeah, just feels good. Feels damn good.
Okay, water break. Okay. All right. So I'm going to set up the first and second tree here, or what we now call AM and PM. Maybe I'll use the... Okay, here we go. All right. So the hoop is traveling to my left. I don't know if this is going to be weird, or I don't know if this would be better. Is this better? The hoop is traveling to my left right now. That means it's coming from the right side of me on this side of this force. It's coming from the right and moving to the left. So the first tree, the first side of me, the first side of me that feels the hoop, that is my first tree, or my AM side. That's the sun coming into day. So that's the AM tree, or the first tree that would see the sun. Now, if you're brand new to hooping, your mind can just be blown by realizing that there's an AM tree or a PM tree, because when you first learn to hoop, you're dominant in one tree, like one tree does all the movement. What you learn, bless you, what you learn over time is that your AM tree will help. Your AM tree will actually help guide the hoop across you. Now, we're going to get into breaks in about 30 seconds, but it's important that you feel the two trees, or it's helpful. It's not important. It's helpful to feel your two separate trees before we start to use them in a breaking way. Now, if I reverse the hoop, and we'll talk about how in just a second, but if I reverse the hoop, then my two trees switch. And this is why it's helpful to have them, because what was my right side when it was AM is now the PM, because the hoop is traveling from the left towards it. So that's the PM, that's the sunset, it's the second tree side. I love this track. This is a remix by Drum Spider, and I think he's, oh man, what's the name? I'm trying to remember, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the artist right now. It's his remix, but it's, all right. So before we begin to get in deep into the breaks, and it's going to get real technical from here, I can start to connect my right hand with my right foot and my left hand with my left foot as I'm hooping and moving. Even if you want to go ahead and begin to engage the hoop, as your core hooping, because most of these breaks are going to be done in core hooping, I'm connecting my footwork to my hands. And one thing that will help you in your breaks is to think like, I am stopping momentum. I am stopping momentum, so that the more that like I sort of root into that stop, the more I balance my physical weight against that break, the tighter they're going to be. What I like about breaks is that they give you a chance to start over and create new flow every time your hand touches the hoop. Okay. We're going to move through the beginner stuff super fast and into more of the other stuff. How you feeling there, Ann? Okay, so the hoop is traveling to my left. If I'm going to do it's traveling to my left. If I'm going to do a PM break, then I'm going to stop the hoop with the hand that the hoop is coming towards. There. Boom. These are PM breaks. Now I will show you the difference between doing a series of reverses and a series of breaks. I'm doing a series of reverses right now. As long as the hoop goes around one time, that's a reverse because you have officially changed its current. And the reverses are made smoother by just you getting into your left current ritmo and then getting into your right current and doing it seamlessly. And that it's not the smoothness of the break, it's the smoothness of you changing those two rhythms. And so that's good for wherever we go with the hoop. To think about you're reversing it into where you want it to go.
We're gonna have a good time.
Okay, we're going to switch over to my SoundCloud. No. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. While my SoundCloud is loading, here we go. Okay. So we're on the waist. So that when the direction that the hoop is traveling, those are my PM breaks or my second tree. And then if I wanted to move from a series of reverses to just a series of breaks, then that's what you kind of, now you see it more than you used to. But this is a fit. This is me doing what's, well, in HoopPath anyway, it used to be called a fit of breaks. I'm just reversing the hoop from one side, and then I can start to bring as much flow as I want to with it. But one thing I hope you can see is that my shoulders are changing positions. If I had a bird's eye on, and actually I do have a kind of a bird's eye, but you can see that Anne's shoulders are changing position a lot there. Yeah, so she just said she's feeling her feet, but pushing up through that. Now, if I put both hands on the hoop and I keep them both on the hoop, then that, in old school terms, that we used to call that a one-tree break. And we're going to talk about these for about 10 more seconds on the waist, because nobody does them here. But and this is just me keeping both hands on my hoop. I'm not letting go of the hoop. And this is called a sticky break because the hoop is never really leaving your core. It's just rolling from one. And then what you might not realize, or maybe you do realize it, but you're essentially doing the two different breaks at the same time. We just talked about the PM break, but the AM break is when you come across the body and you get it with, you catch the hoop and reverse it with the other hand. So the away hand stops the hoop. My right hand is going to travel to my left side and bring the hoop back around. My left hand is going to travel to my right side and bring the hoop back around. And then, kind of as I was saying before, the quicker I can get my core ritmo into that current, the smoother the break looks. These are first. So I'll show you, just so we're clear, I'll show you what a fit of these, and they're hard to do at the waist, especially with small hoops, but this is what a fit of first tree would look. Oh, wait, let's see. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not that good at this anymore. Okay, hold on a second. I can do this. Okay, here we go. There we go. I'm coming across the body. Oh, all right. Got something to work on. There we go. There we go. They're almost a little bit easier to do as pinches, which Anne is just about to teach you. All right, shoulder breaks. How you doing? Do you have any questions? I'm going to do shoulder breaks and then I'm going to pass to you, okay? All right. We are going to go about 10 minutes over or so. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so if you guys... Actually, we'll pause first. Let's give it 30 seconds. I'll let you guys practice some. Oh, wait. Oh. So, Ann, show them your version of first tree. Yeah, so Ann's doing first tree to first tree right now. There you go. She's doing a much better job than I am. That sucks, but she's been doing it a ton, she's saying to you guys. But those are super crisp. She's doing one tree now. I'm about to pass her the microphone, but she's doing one tree right now. She wants you guys to see that. And what you can see Ann doing, I don't want to mess her up by commentating while she's moving it that way, but when she's gripping the hoop, something, whether it's in her mind or in her body, is thinking about how quickly that point that's in her hands is getting back on the core, or how it's getting back on the core. And that cleans up everything. Yeah. So Ann is really finding that the twist from the waist. Well, nice, quick. All right, can you do a fit of breaks from that very thing you were just doing? Any kind, whatever, it doesn't matter. Because I want you to see something else. Like, do you see the twist that go? So the same twist that she was using before to rock those, she's using them in whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Can you do like more first tree breaks? Or one tree breaks. I'm sorry, one tree breaks. Yeah. Okay, now you can see, that's actually what I was trying to get at, is that, no, what's happening there is Ann's hands want to get creative, right? And so she can push the hoop off or bring it close to her while it's in that one tree. And that was kind of what I was, there we go, perfect. You see if you watch it on replay later, you'll see the distance between her hands and her core is changing sometimes. Like sometimes they're out and sometimes they're in. Or if they're in, they're staying in, like. Good. Yeah, so I'm going to demo this first tree one more time. And then we will pass this on to Ann. So let's see. The hoop is traveling to my left right now. So each hand has a home side, right? So my right hand right now is in my home side, and my left hand is in the home side. So this break is achieved by the hands going to the away side to make stop. So when the hoop finally comes to a stop, my hand is on the away side. My right hand is on my left side. And then I'm just going to pull the hoop back towards me to keep it nice and crisp. And I want to, when I bring the hoop back, I'm going to apply just a little bit, especially if you have a big hoop. I'm going to apply just a little bit of grip as I bring it back. And then when the hoop is here, I am bringing this inside wall back across the core. Okay, let's talk about this over the shoulders, and then I'm going to pass the mic off to you, dog. Okay. Shoulder break advice. One, when you make the break, go ahead and be in the other current for your shoulders. Think of it that way. That the moment you go to even just move your hand towards the hoop, that you're thinking about that other current, so that your hand is actually just sort of the tip of the whip. That the whole break is really just sort of coming from your core, and your hand just happens to go get it at the last second. What's that? We're just doing second tree breaks right now, Anne's asking. Yes. But let's go ahead. Since we're running out of time, this is one tree breaks. And these kind of brakes do have different names, and I don't know where they came from. I don't know if they came from HoopPath. I don't know if they came from Ann. But there are cradle brakes. Generally, like, people will think this is kind of a cradle brake. And that's where the hands are kind of just sort of holding the brake there. And then there's a brake that I totally think of, and when I think of, which is the hug brake, which is where it's really just becomes this, insane ab workout. There we go. That's a hug. And then just go to a one tree so they can sort of see the difference. Yeah, she just okay. And then before we run out of time, I have that music info is wrong at the bottom. But anyway, if I want to try AM, then my hoop is traveling to the left right now. I'm coming across with my right hand, stop the hoop. It's going to my right now. My left hand is going to come across. These are a fit. What's funny about first tree breaks is that they are so hard for beginning hoopers to find. It's like I used to go teach them, and they would have the PM break, they'd have the second tree break down, no problem. I'd show them the first tree break, and they'd say, like, Baxter, can you show me? I want to see if I have this. And I'd be like, sure, go for it. And they would just show me, 2 PM breaks, second tree breaks. Because it's hard at first for you to even get your brain wrapped around this, but the hoop, your hand is coming across the body. You're meeting it at sunset and pulling it back across day. And this is if I go sticky with it. And that just means that my hand is staying on the hoop as I'm going back and forth. Nice, Shelly. Now, the beauty of doing fits of breaks like I'm doing right now is that it is like sharpening the knife. It's not a single push of the knife's edge across the sharpening stone that sharpens it, right? It's multiple and some sense of care, right? All right. So before we run out of time, and I want you to, do you want to teach from there or from here? What's good for you? Well, let's see. Let's get you, I think this one might be better for you. Yeah, let's do this one. Yeah. No, it's right there. It's over the stove, yeah.
Hey, y'all. This is so great. Thanks so much. Thank you, Baxter, for that great setup. So the main thing with a pinch break, and I'm going to show all this to you in a minute. I'm just going to briefly explain it in words, because I can't wear this mic because it falls off my head. But what's different about pinch breaks at the shoulders, so they're going to be at the shoulders, or actually we can do them at the waist as well. So on the waist, all your breaks are coming from above the current, right? And then when you go up to the shoulders, we were breaking from beneath the current. So what's different about pinches is that we're going to go above the current. So what we're going to do first, we're going to do 2 exercises about pinch breaks, and we're going to just do one that's going to be the setup. Excuse me, that was really loud. For the break itself. So we're just going to be going above the current and exploring that outer space. That's what's going to be, we're going to just do that exercise without actually breaking the hoop. So I'm going to demonstrate first just this, coming up to the shoulders, lifting the, do you want to?
I was going to hold the mic.
Okay, thank you. No, okay. Okay, so I'm going to try to show you. Hopefully I won't hit Baxter with the hoop. I definitely won't do it on purpose. So here, what we're doing, mainly we're going to use this same thing of turning, using the space. Instead of doing breaks down here, we're going to just sweep both arms into the space outside the hoop as we turn. So this is the beginning of stop it. I'm getting close to it. We're going to just sweep into the space. And turn before we make any kind of contact. And we can do that at the waist, and we can do that in our opposite current. Sweep in. And actually, why don't we just do, go ahead and do these. After you catch it. Okay, so now that you've had a chance to see that, so let's do an exercise where we're sweeping into that space from above the current on the waist. Then we're going to do it again at the shoulders, and we're going to turn it into a pinch break. We're going to do it first at the waist because it's going to be easier. We're going to be able to pay a little more attention to the hoop. And if you want to go ahead and break it while you're sweeping into that space, go ahead and with your PM/second tree/ leading arm. Okay, I'm gonna hand this.
And says turn as you're sweeping into the space. All right, so you're asking them to just make contact with their arms right now.
Just sweeping into the space.
Okay, the outer space beyond the hoop. Okay, so Anna's asking you guys to make, just in case we're clear, this mic situation is not ideal. She's asking you to bring your arms down on the outside of the hoop and more or less skim and then sometimes make contact. She's moving through, I think, what she calls the outer space of the hoop. So she's dropping her arms and moving them and this is a really cool thing. If you haven't done this before, these are, in boxing, you'd almost call these feints, but this is sometimes you'll go down with your arm and instead of breaking it, you're not, and it almost becomes this weird thing. Well, how are you not breaking it? So these are what I call feints, but I don't know what they're called. I just call them feints because it reminds me of boxing a little bit. They're not exactly that's not really what they mean in boxing, but that's just how I used to think of them. Okay, do you want to give them the next...
And I'll show you this in a second. So then next what we're going to do is come up to the shoulders. And then for those of you who haven't done a pinch break or haven't explored the outer space from the shoulders, what we're going to do is we'll have the hoop on the shoulder, on the full on shoulders, then we'll pull out one arm and do some rotations, put it back in, pull out the other arm, do some rotations. We'll get some experience taking each arm outside of the current at the shoulders, and then we're going to lift out both because we're going to need to get a nice clean pinch break. We're going to need to be able to lift both arms out of the shoulder current. So we're going to do that in little stages.
We are just going to keep playing the song so Anna can demo while you practice. asking you guys to change currents now and lift out one arm and then the other. So we're changing currents, lifting one arm out and then the other. So one arm and then the other arm. She's saying that the PM arm is going to be the easiest to lift out. So what she's asking you to do is to raise your hands up in and out of the hoop. And she wants you to see that her feet are constantly turning. And Anne's actually doing a type of turning that you can almost imagine that, I mean, Anne, I don't want to change the way you're moving, but it's almost like she's on a skateboard. Like her feet are sort of moving and pivoting at the same time. And she's kind of taking these A-frame type steps. Okay, so then are we jumping into the pinch now? All right, we're going to change currents, lift out one arm and then the other one while turning. Okay.
Okay, so just following up with, just trying to lift both arms out of the current for a few rotations in each current. That was what I was trying to demonstrate, first starting with like pulling one arm out, then the second arm, and then putting both back. Really starting out with just pulling one arm at a time. So just moving at your own pace. But when you're ready to actually do a pinch break, or we're going to actually do one more step before an actual pinch break, sorry. We're going to be sweeping into that outer space, but from above at the shoulders, across the chest. So we're actually going to have, even more space to move into. And we can, again, your PM second tree leading arm is going to have more time to sweep in. You can try that one first. It's going to be a little bit easier. So the arm that your hoop is going towards, the arm that you're turning towards, you're turning with your hoop, you're going to be trying to create more space. And so we're going to sweep down into that space with the arm, and then you will finally turn that into a pinch break. But try to resist the temptation to do that. Try to sweep.
So if you can't see what Anne's doing, she's basically inviting you to get closer and closer to sort of what a pinch is, where she's asking you to bring your arms up, out of the current gracefully and back into the current, and then she's opened you up to outer space. And so what Anne is really kind of showing without showing is that her pinches are not very aggressive at all. They're quick and they're sharp, but they're not really aggressive because she's moving her whole body. There she's doing what I was calling fainting, where she's moving her hands. All right, so oh, hey Rita, thanks for stopping in. Sorry you're feeling bad. Okay, so do you want to show them the pinch here? We're kind of over time. I talked a little too much.
Can I just tell them? Just to tell y'all before I demo the actual pinch break. So the only thing we're going to do differently this time is, we're going to sweep first the leading arm, the second tree PM arm into the current, and we're going to leave it there. And as that pinch break happens, as we leave the arm in the current and the break starts to happen, the hoop is going to start to hit our upper arm. Our feet are going to stop, upper body twists, just like in every other break. So, and then we're going to kind of, curl in tight and then immediately turn out. So it's going to be, you're going to really feel that twist. You're going to need to use that twist to create a little more space, because we don't have as much space up here at the shoulders. Yes. Yeah. And so, yeah, and Bax is showing the second tree and the first tree, both, like both pinches. Yeah. Woo! And this was the hoop move where when I saw Bax do it back in 2005, well, I'm saying like when I saw you do this like in 2005. Well, no, you did make it. No, I'm saying like Bax was the only person doing these pinch breaks, and this used to be the hoop move where I was like, oh, I'm never going to learn how to do this. I'm never going to learn that. There's no way that I could possibly learn this break. So I love to teach it. It's like so much fun. But as you can see, Bax, he creates this space by twisting the upper body, like twisting right at the waist. Yeah, and then you create this space in which, because you gotta swipe that whole arm down into the space. Yeah, unlike, because when you're coming up from underneath, you can just pop your hand up there. But when you're doing the pinch break, you have to create all that space for your whole arm to go in. So you're really gonna have to like feel that in your waist twisting in. Bax can show you this is perfect. Twisting in, yeah. So he's doing this first tree pinch or this, yeah. So. What? No, yeah, exactly. Or with whichever arm he's pinching with, he's twisting towards the current. Like you don't have to worry if it's right or left. You're just twisting in towards the current. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. And you see how his feet are always going to be perpendicular to his upper body. That's going to make a huge difference. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but one of the problems that we have with our breaks is that we remain kind of facing forward. We're kind of anticipating already being in the next current, and we don't kind of twist into the existing current and kind of let it come to a stop. So then we don't have anything to, conserved to bring into the other current. And you can see, even when he's doing like these, successive breaks, sequential breaks, he's still twisting. Even if it's just like a super quick break. Yay. Should we do, and we can do our last song, we can just pinch away. And I would say if this is your first time trying, definitely try with the PM arm, the leading arm, the arm that the hoop is going towards. Try that one first, because that's going to be a little bit easier probably to find a spot in there to break into. But remember, twisting in, twisting out, twisting in, twisting out. That's going to really help your pinch breaks.
Okay. Bring the music up and let's... That might be the best angle for that, actually. Ann wants me to tell you that you guys can also do pinch breaks by bending the elbow. This just Ann's doing something that kind of unartfully is called the chicken wing break sometimes, but it is essentially a 2-point break. So she's pinching, but there's also usually a second point somewhere that is creating kind of leverage there. So there's 2-point, yeah. So it's not quite a pinch break. When there's a pinch break, there's usually just 2 points, right? And that's like the point on the outside wall and the point on the inside wall. But when I start to do these like sort of chicken wing breaks, a lot of times what happens is you're making, I mean, for the most part, you're kind of making 2 points of contact at the same time, or at least it's 3 points almost. Well, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe I'm wrong now. I don't know. It's a workout, right? All right, so if I'm going to go first tree, not moving. Oh, wow. It is hard for me to do first three breaks without moving my feet. Yeah. Since we're running out. I'll show you guys a super old school move that kind of like sums up it tonight, which is kind of related to the chicken wing sort of thing. But these are basically what pinches first started looking like for us before they became a thing. And there's this move that we do that is so simple, but it's fun, which is where you pinch the hoop, but then your other hand kind of goes down to sort of create like a parallel motion. So it looks like this. So it turns into this kind of like, you know. There we go. All right. Okay, guys, we're out of time. I understand. We'll play some music if anybody's still here. But thank you, Anne, for adding some insight into tonight. And thank you guys, and I really appreciate all the support. We will not have a jam this weekend. I'm going to a wedding. I never go to weddings. I'm going to a wedding this weekend. I'm excited about that. But we'll be back Monday at 7 o'clock. Probably going to do something mythy. But anyway, 2005 is called. You're welcome, Shayna. Thank you guys so much. I will show you guys on the bird's eye what I'm just doing. Yeah, totally. Alright, so if I want to do this move again, boom. I kind of got that one from Ann. That's where you get like a gooey pinch. If you a gooey pinch is like you see what I'm saying? It's like you make gooey contact with it, and you essentially go into that sort of hug break that we were talking about. Like that's how quick you have to move to make it look as if you just slowed it down. There we go. Yeah. Boom. I like that. Boom. My left hand, not so good. My right hand, I'm getting it. Kinda. There we go. Actually, we should show you. You're killing it. There we go. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Some of you are signing off. I just want Hoopin' Daily. Thank you. Good night. Shelly, thank you. We missed saying goodbye because we got hooped up. Zimbliss, thank you. Nicole, thank you. Amber, Claire. Oh, thank you, Jennifer, for that. I appreciate that.